Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation. Revolution calling. A precious metals tax revolution is rising. Yet another state bans taxes on gold and silver. Let's explore. And state is a loose term. It's really a commonwealth. There's only several of them in the United States. We have Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. Can you name any more? I don't think there's any more than those three, but nonetheless, precious metals certainly are the topic, and it is very exciting to see more and more states that are thinking about and enacting bans on taxation, at least for a while. And there's a website, BGASE, which is Buy Gold and Silver Coins. That's a kind of a neat website that has the different laws for each of these states and how they are enacted here. And like, for instance, Hawaii requires BGASC to collect general excise taxes on all products sold by BGASC and delivered to Hawaii address. And then it kind of goes into more details. And then Idaho, no sales tax will be charged for gold, silver, platinum, or palladium bullion items, as they are exempt from sales tax when shipping to an Idaho address. So that's pretty nice. So, and the BGASC, like any other dealers, do not charge. They do not, and this is an important distinction people need to understand. These bullion dealers are not charging you sales tax. And charging sales tax is what comes from the respective localities or governments, state governments in these cases. They merely collect them based off of a Supreme Court ruling a few years ago. And that basically meant that you cannot escape the tax man whether you buy online or not. If you have an address in the state from which you reside, you are required to pay tax. And so we're going to look at a state here, what BGASC has for Virginia. This is the Commonwealth of Virginia. It says no sales tax will be charged for gold, silver, or platinum bullion items if the total amount of a single sales transactions for these items is $1,000 or more, as qualifying purchases are exempt from sales tax when shipping to a Virginia address. The state of Virginia does require the collection of sales taxes on some products sold by a bullion dealer and delivered to a Virginia address. These taxes must be collected on palladium products, copper products, accessory items, and processed items. And that is the language of some of these states. What are processed items? There's somebody had emailed me about a processed item, that a silver bar that was, quote, processed. Does that mean poured or struck? However, what does this mean? Products with precious metal content will be charged sales tax if the aggregate amount of the invoices for precious metals is less than $1,000. You'll read more about this specific case. They go into a little bit more detail. Precious metals that have been processed by third parties into items valued on more than their precious metal content, such as jewelry, statues, or colorized coins. So this is kind of what they label here. Accessory items are holders, tubes, or coin flips. So those are definitely what those require, and that makes sense. Accessory items would be taxed. Sales tax in Virginia are calculated at checkout, and the taxability of products sold by any bullion dealer in Virginia set forth in the specific tax rate established by the taxing jurisdiction of the delivery address in Virginia. They began collecting taxes in Virginia on August 4th, 2019, and others of them were later, such as Monument Metals. They were late, but they finally got theirs in order too. Now, to the news of the day. It's always rejoice when you see the news. This is the National Coin and Bullion Association. And this used to be the Industry Council for Tangible Assets. It's a 501c tax-exempt trade association dedicated to the coins, currency, and precious metals bullion communities for over 38 years. Essentially, they're a lobby group. And And they promote and safeguard the interest of its members, serving as the industry's watchdog to maintain a favorable legislative and regulatory climate in the United States. They've been our champions, as well as some bullion dealers in some cases like David Lawrence Coins in Virginia, to help abolish the taxes on bullion. And abolish is a strong word here, but let's take a look at the news section here. What we can see, we've got Virginia sales tax exemption extended and threshold removed. Now let's look at this. Here it is. On March 2nd, Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin signed House Bill 3, which extends the sunset date for the sales tax exemption on gold, silver, and platinum bullion and legal tender coins to June 30th, 2025. You know, it's kind of a shame that there's a sunset on these bills, but I think they should abolish them until another legislative body or a Congress, or in this case delegates, come in and write a new bill to tax again. But under the previous law, the exemption would have expired on June 30th, 2022. In the summer of 2014, John Brush, was from David Lawrence Rare Coins, with a coalition of coin business owners, a lobbyist, and NCBA, started developing legislation to exempt coins, currency, and precious metals bullion from Virginia's sales tax and use taxes. The legislation provided an exemption that included gold, silver, and platinum purchases whose totals exceeded $1,000. On March 26, 2015, Governor McAuliffe signed the legislation, and the law went into effect on July 1, 2015. However, a sunset provision also was added to the law, which is kind of a shame that those exist, so that the original sales tax would be reinstated if new legislation were not passed before the end of the 2018 legislative session. Efforts continued to eliminate the $1,000 threshold, expand the statute to include coins and currency of numismatic value, and remove the sunset provision. The General Assembly passed legislation in 2018 that expanded Virginia's sales and use tax exemption to include legal tender coins and extended the exemption until June 30th, 2022. The law would have sunset this year unless the industry could demonstrate that Virginia dealers and coin shows were growing again. On November the 29th, 2021, House Bill 3, Gold, Silver, and Platinum Bullion, etc., removed sunset date for the sales tax exemption was introduced by Delegate R. Lee Ware and referred to the House Finance Committee. The bill was reported favorably out of committee with amendment on January the 19th, 2022, and passed the House. 87-4, 12 voted against. On January the 25th, 2022, the bill was referred to the Senate Finance and Appropriations Committee, where it was unanimously reported favorably with an amendment. The sunset unanimously passed the bill with amendment on February the 17th, 2022. The House agreed to adopt the Senate amendment to change the statute's effective through year from 2027 to 2025, extending the sunset provision another 3 years. Governor Youngkin has signed the bill, which goes into effect July 1, 2022. A similar bill, HB 936, has also been introduced, which included eliminating the limitation that only purchases of more than $1,000 were eligible for the exemption. Ultimately, the two bills ended up in a conference committee composed of House and Senate conferees to reconcile differences in the bills that has passed both chambers. Both chambers agreed to the conference report, and HB 936ER passed the House and the Senate. Now legal tender coins, gold, silver, and platinum purchases no longer need to exceed $1,000 to be exempt. That is wonderful news for sure to see this occur. Notice they don't put palladium in this report, so who knows if that's introduced or not. We've not looked at the actual legislation. But Governor Youngkin signed the bill on April the 11th, 2022, and it goes into effect July 1, 2022. So there you go. The political scene was not a world that I have ever expected to enter, said Brush, but the opportunity to work with other business owners in Virginia and throughout the country to help collectors in my adopted state was one that I could not turn down. As a Tennessean by blood, I heard the call to volunteer, and with the assistance of lobbyist Phil Abraham, we were able to achieve something that I didn't think was possible, something that will benefit other dealers and collectors for years to come. It was truly an honor to be involved in the legislative process, and I'm really proud to see that common sense, elbow grease, and feet on the ground can really accomplish change in the world of politics. It's a tough world out there. We hope these efforts will allow the coin hobby and businesses to continue to grow in the Old Dominions, and that's just it. Who knows if they will get this extended. Hopefully they will, and they'll get rid of the sunset provision. But that's good news. Another state, at least for now, is free from taxation of gold and silver, and other things too of numismatic value, platinum included. I don't know about palladium, but this is great news. So we can chalk Virginia off the list. Ohio was another state that recently banned taxation on gold and silver. I think that's wonderful. So there you go. So if you live in Virginia, and you might want to think about making smaller purchases until July 1, but who knows where gold and silver, especially silver, will be by July 1. Who knows? That's the summertime. We'll find out, but there you have it. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Pretty interesting indeed. Gold, silver, platinum, and numismatic products exempt from taxation. Yes, indeed. I'll keep up with any other news breaks for other localities and other states that will be exempting taxation. We'll report on it here. I think it's wonderful news, long overdue, muchly needed in the world of precious metals. For the Old Dominion state, or the Commonwealth of Virginia, to exempt these taxes, or to ban and abolish these taxes, at least for now. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.